Okay guys, so after yesterday and driving my colleague's Z4M, I got inspired, went out to the garage. I was going to check on the 997 because I did a preview of that coming up, and decided that that needed some work. And so instead we pulled out the E46. I said, you know what, let me take this for a ride, seeing as his car inspired me in such a way. And now I want to compare how mine actually drives now that I've driven his, and see how much difference there really is. I haven't driven this car in a while, so I'm in it today, and I thought, let's just do a quick run, kind of do a quick comparison of what my experience was yesterday compared to what my experience is in my own car, and go from there. So you guys get to come with me as usual. I also want to just see if my car has a more aggressive sound when it starts. For some reason I thought it was a lot more throaty than it was in his car yesterday. And I think mine is. Just listening to it. It's got a heavier hum. It's got a more hum to it. His was pretty silent. So maybe it's just some subtle difference in the exhaust system. I don't know. But I don't have an exhaust button like I do in the 997. But this sounds heavier, a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, well, anywho, let's drive. Hopefully I'll do a better job with the camera today than I did yesterday. I think as I was driving, all you could see was the tach and speedo, which those are exciting bits, but I kind of wanted you guys to see where I actually was driving. So I'll do a better job this time with this camera. It's kind of hard to drive with your cell phone on camera mode in a manual. Believe that. All right, so let's switch it up. You guys get a view. There is my control center. Much different than his. As I said, I do like the gauge layout in this a little better. It was unique. I like that. I mean, I think a lot of the BMWs have been considered kind of boring because all the gauges look alike, and in the M cars they kind of put a little different spin on them. You can see the lights here. Like I said, when it's cold it starts way up here, then it works its way down as it gets warm. But yeah, so the gauge clusters are a little more unique for the M cars, but it's good to see that his car was so much different than what the typical car would look like. My interior, obviously, it's just pretty much what you get on any 3 Series of this generation. The seats are a little bit more aggressive. Now these seats are cool. I do feel a little bit more comfortable in these. They're not as sporty as the ones in the Z, but they do have good lumbar support. A little interesting setup here. More of a luxury statement than anything. These are electric, they move up and down, but not a whole lot going on elsewhere. I mean, it's a little more aggressive than what you would have gotten in your garden variety model 3 Series, but you can see it's moving here. So that's kind of cool for what it's worth. Not a big deal to me, but it is what it is. All right, let's do some driving. I don't have the sport button on at this point. And at any given time, I'm probably going to put this phone down because yesterday I had it kind of in an inconspicuous position so that if someone saw me police-wise, that it wouldn't draw any attention. But at any rate, I'll go as long as I can filming with it up in the air like this. So I'm leaving the office and the traffic tends to be a lot crazier because there's only one ingress for it. So you're essentially stuck going mind how fast this thing really is. It's got minerals too. Again, this car has the same horsepower as the car I drove yesterday, the Z4. And his just seemed like it had a little bit more. Mine will get sideways, just like there. His wouldn't let loose. And that's kind of good. I think if you're in a high performance car like that, I mean, as low as it sits, having really accurate suspension that keeps you up to the road, that's a pretty good thing to have. It's a good problem to have. I mean, if your car won't break loose, the tires, that's a good confidence inspiring feature. Just to be inconspicuous, I'm gonna keep it. I'll be keep position here. You're just gonna look at this gauge cluster for a minute. Just take it in and enjoy it. I'd give you some elevator music, but I don't have any. I've kind of missed this car actually. I seriously have not driven this thing in a while. Alright, where's my sport button? Just hit it. So I'm just kind of cruising along. I'm gonna hit the sport button and just lunges forward. It's pretty impressive. It's almost like when you go to the auto store, like an AutoZone or an O'Reilly's or something, and they've got that demonstration display of a K&N air filter versus every other air filter, and you see the little ball floating, and with the K&N it floats really high, and the other one it floats just barely over the mechanism. That's kind of how the sport button is. When you hit the sport button, it's like you just put a K&N air filter in that display. It literally rushes all the air into the car, and you can feel the difference. It's pretty cool. And until I had this car, I really didn't know how real that was. It's pretty real. Take off in second. Taking off in second, honestly, it feels like taking off in just a run-of-the-mill sports car. It's just that low that it can handle it. Will I get this one? Will I get it? Will I get it? I might get it. Yes. 3,000 RPM red line. I mean, you can just hover around 3,000 to 4,000 in any gear, except first and second, of course, and be able to do as much as you need to do from an acceleration standpoint, and just maintaining momentum and speed or whatever it is. Whoops, sorry about that. Forget where the camera is on it when it's in this particular position. Anyway, guys, it's another quick run. Friday, my day, just hanging out in the M3. All right, we'll see you soon. All-wheel drive. Peace out.